Next up on the list, 2.5 and 3 inch. We've already gone over second principle friction loss, already done the quick hand method for your attack lines with flows of 1 to 200 gallons per minute. So when you start busting out those bigger lines, how do we figure that out? Quantity squared. Quantity squared. So if I take a number and square it, pretty easy to do, especially if I just give you a simple one digit, no decimal point number. So if I say 2, square it, you can say 4. If I say 3, square it, you can say 9. I say 5, square it, you can say 25. The only slightly confusing part is the little half numbers, I like to call them, or say 2.5 squared. So 250 gallons a minute squared. I know that just from memory is going to be 6.25. But how can I simplify this in the field when I got a bunch of crap going on, places on fire, guys are calling for water, and it's chaos? I like to break it down. So 2.5 squared is the same as 2.5 times 2.5. But what if I just took one of those little halves and move it over here and call it 2 times 3? My answer is going to be 6, because I can do 2 times 3 in my head really freaking fast. So you can see, squared, 6.25. Cheater method, 6, pretty damn close for fire ground, and it always gives me a solid even number. So that's my personal trick on how to figure out quantity squared in the field. Now, how do I apply this into 2.5 and 3 inch? There's slight differences between the two, and we'll break it down. So let's say we have an engine and we are pumping a 200-foot, 2.5, flowing 250 gallons a minute. Now, we just did the math on that. We know how to figure that out. We can shortcut it, call it 2 times 3, which equals 6. But that's only my quantity squared. I'm almost there. Just need one more small step. Now, the coefficient for 2.5 is 2. So if I gave you any number and told you to double it, you could probably do that in your head real fast. So if I say 2 double it, you're going to say 4. If I say 3 double it, you're going to say 6. If I say your answer 6 double it, you're going to say 12. And that's your friction loss per 100 foot. So figure out your quantity squared real quick. Just double that number, and that's your friction loss per 100 foot. So that quantity squared is 6, double it's 12. I need 100 for my nozzle. So 100, 12, 12. I'm going to pump that guy at 124. Boom, there's your answer. Pretty simple. It does take some practice, but I promise you will get proficient at it if you practice it. It's pretty easy basic math, just knowing where and how to apply it. Now, it also works for figuring out 3 inch. So I'm a big fan of, doubling up my efforts. If I can use quantity squared in 2 different things and be super accurate, we're going to do that. So say this is our fire line. We're putting some wet stuff on the red stuff and we're not making any progress. So we decide to bust out a master stream. So we have a blitz nozzle here that flows 500 gallons a minute. So this is a master stream device, because anything over 350 gets considered a master stream device. So I need 100 for the nozzle, 25 for the device. 125, I'm going to start giving him that flow. I'm already pumping that line at that, but now I need to figure out my friction loss. So let's just say this guy's 100 foot long from easy math. So my quantity squared on that is going to be 25, because I'm breaking it down into hundredths. 5 squared, 25. Now, according to the old book, that's close enough, but y'all are professionals and we can do better, we can be better because we are better. So I always call it the reverse tip. So case in point, if I go out, have a burger and a couple beers, and standard tip on good service is 20%. So if my bill comes out to $25, that waiter or waitress is going to get a $5 tip. So instead of giving the 5, I'm going to take away the 5. So basically, that's all you're doing. It's knocking off 20%, quick, fast, and easy. And we're going to call it 20 per 100. So 125 plus 20, I'm going to pump that guy at 145. So I'm going to have to increase my pressure and choke that guy down just a smidge to keep them both flowing the same. That's it. It's that simple. You just got to remember, once you do quantity squared, am I doubling that number for my 2.5, or am I reverse tipping and knocking off 20% for 3-inch? Those are the key things. You remember to do those two things in combination, everything else I taught you. There isn't a line on a department you can't figure out. It works, it's accurate, it's awesome, and it's quick, and it's easy math. Rock and roll.